see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out. Ooh, mountain, we're gonna walk it out. Ooh, mountain, we're gonna walk it out.
Good day, guys.
Whoa! Nah,
wait.
Clayton, nah, man. Oh, welcome.
Wait, listen, you start over, then I will just introduce.
Okay, no, guys, welcome to the Connect podcast. We're busy with episode number 3. We got the exciting guest to you guys today. Okay, Clayton's gonna introduce the guest because it's his brah. And I don't know why. Clayton just told me that he's nervous for no reason. But nevertheless, let's get it going because he's playful.
Okay. So this is my friend for 16 years. He lives in Mrs. Plain. Went to Cape Town High. Alright. He studied at Hamlin for IT. And now he is a test engineer for Mr. Delivery. Head office, come on now. So his name is Seekoei.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Tell me, so how you been doing, Jason? If I may ask.
I've been good, bro. I've been good. Life is treating me well right now, I can say. Lots of new things, new chapters in my life starting now. So right now, I think I'm in a really good space.
Yeah, so like I said, since we were small, right? Me and him was playing in the beginning, the Genesis. He's one of the friends that we have the same vision, the same goals, similar, regarding everything.
Okay.
So if you see me, right, you obviously see him, so so like we grew up since small, we always had big dreams in life.
Yeah.
And I think Zazie can also agree to that.
Definitely, yeah. I think we have similar interests. In the beginning, it wasn't more dreams, it was interests. Like we like cars, we like racing. We like send each other pictures we took of some random car we saw. Like, yo, bro, that car's nice, bro. And then he'd be like, yes. Yeah, or we played games together, stuff like that. So we always gelled together in that sense.
Okay.
I think, and that's where as we got older, the whole, what do you want to do with your life type of conversation started happening. So
I feel if you have a friendship with someone, you got to have that once in a while, that deep conversation. Like, bro, what is your vision, man?
Yeah.
Like, where do you see yourself with 5? Say, for example, 5 years. People always put out the 10-year span, but put out the 5 years, man. Make the 5 years realistic. You know what I mean? And I think that is good to have part, like, in a friendship. To like, no, look here, if your friend's interest is similar or the same, then you're surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah, so it's true.
Then it comes, when they say it's like, it's not how long you've been friends, but it's like the time you've been friends, man.
Yeah.
Like something like that. It's not how long people have been in your life or something like that. But I'm saying, but if like you say, have 16 years of friendship and same interest, same stuff, so I'm like, that makes something. Like, you must see there's a vision.
Yeah.
Because if one is not going to motivate the other one to move forward, then what's the point?
Like me and Jesse go so long back, like even some music type. I mean, like blues,
Yeah, blues, jazz.
It's and he's very diverse, if you can say it. because he will listen to rap also. Eminem,
Hip hop fan, big hip
Tupac,
hop fan.
you know,
Big.
Biggie. But then he also have another character of him where he listen to blues, you know, from a hard day's work. He will listen to that.
Oh, Bob Marley, can't forget Bob Marley. That's my guy.
So yeah, that's just him, you know. But we have similar, like Jason said, similar interests. But Jason,
We're
So
getting
yes.
serious now.
I know this is gonna be a good conversation, guys. This is a guy that has a lot of knowledge. Like some people tell me, I have a lot of knowledge. I get some knowledge from you. Sometimes it blows me away.
Yeah,
from,
sometimes you must feed off from each other, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Jason, if I can ask you, so we did a lot for IT,
IT.
slash programming. From.
Yeah, that is an interesting one also, because I never did programming on school.
Yeah.
So I wasn't exposed to it. Even on high school, I wasn't exposed to it. We did CAT on school, and CAT is just open a Word document, type a few stuff in the open Excel, PowerPoint. The CAT was basic stuff on how to use a computer. I didn't even have a computer till I think I was in grade 9. I think my own computer.
Yeah.
I didn't have internet till I left high school. So all the projects had to go to library or had to go to family members and stuff in the beginning. So where that stems from is just I was good at stuff that was computer related. People couldn't install stuff on their PCs or Brad needed to change his RAM out to his computer. They didn't know how. Like simple things like that is where people said you and IT are like this.
Yeah.
And it's for people that didn't really know. Like my daddy could look at me and say, "Now you're good at IT. Look at your CAT marks." We didn't understand IT was more than just CAT.
Yeah.
Even I didn't understand that. So IT for me in the beginning was just being affiliated with computers, and at school I was good with the computer stuff. I used to rap back in the day, so I was a big hip hop fan.
True
Me and
story.
my friends, we had a group, and it was just for the fun. We weren't trying to make it or anything. We were just having fun. And I was like serious about I want to make music. So
Okay.
we bought a mic and we recorded in my room. Before we had the mic, we had a phone. This small Sony Ericsson phone. We used to record on that. We had milk crates against the doors and stuff.
Sony Ericsson's was hot back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't play on the Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, so we started like that, and I wanted to do music. I wanted to start in music production, and so my father was like, "Look, music is nice and all, and you got talent, you got potential, but you need a job that can pay you money.
Okay.
Not a lot of people make it in music, and you can always pursue that at another time."
Okay.
So he said, focus on something that's solid, something that you're good at. And he said, IT, you're good at IT. And so that's where kind of I went in that direction with IT is concerned. I remember when I was finished with school, I went to apply. I applied to UCT. It's drifting to another conversation, but we applied to UCT in IT. Thought I was gonna make it. Thought, listen, you're gonna make it. You getting better marks than your friends, so on. And then provisionally accepted. I was happy go lucky, and then found out, oh no, sorry, you didn't make it. You are not gonna be going to UCT. And I didn't apply anywhere else because I didn't know any better.
Yo.
Yeah.
And so a friend or cousin studied at Tamlin, and that's how I went to go and study at Tamlin. She kind of recommended, and I went there. My daddy applied, and then I started studying IT at Tamlin.
So how long did you study?
3 years. So I wanted a degree, but they didn't offer the degree at the college. They only had a diploma. And then in my second year, I think they said, okay, you can get a degree, but you need to study an extra 2 years. I was like, hi, bo, son. Hi, bo. I had enough already. At the second year, I was like, I'm going to finish the next year, and then that's it. And so I studied 3 years. And while I was studying, I was also working. So, I was trying to keep myself busy, keep the income coming in.
Yeah.
Worked at Total Sports, Kennewa Center.
Yeah, it's true.
Worked for like 800 Rand a month. That's how terrible that was. It was just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that I worked after college.
Yeah.
And yeah, I studied 3 years, got my diploma. and then immediately started looking for a job. I think I applied at like 20 different companies. Nobody responded. Not one not even an automatic reply. Like, that's how bad it was. And then a friend of mine went into this company called DVT, and they have an internship.
Okay.
So it's 1 year internship, and then he started January, and I got an interview, and I made it. And then February I started there as an intern, software testing. Never knew what it was. Never got taught that on college.
Okay.
I just knew how to program, and they said one of the things you're gonna do is programming. I said yes, I can do that.
Okay.
You can teach me the other stuff, but I can program. And then that's how that journey started. Software testing, and I'm still doing it today.
Yeah, just to tell you, like, I can still remember, like Tyson said now, weekend you used to work, right? So you would go to class during the week, and weekends you used to work at Autosport. And I always once, like, why? What's the reason why you work, man? He said, nah, I just want to gain work experience. So once he's done with the qualification, he has some sort of work experience, how to work with clients and things like that. So
you might not have worked in your field like as your part-time job.
Yeah.
But you worked experience to work with people.
Yeah. Because I mean, on every job application, you look at 2 years, 3 years work experience.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and I was like, look, if you can't get a job in IT now, how are you going to get a job even if you got qualifications and I still want work experience? So I went to go get my own work experience. I told the people in the interview, look, I don't work in your field, but I dealt with customers for the last 3 years. I worked in a team for the last 3 years.
That's a good thing, you know why?
Hashtag 16 years.
Because every like students know that there's degrees and stuff like that. No, that's studied by UCT, UWC, all the big universities. They the cats that can't get work.
Yeah.
Because they don't have working experience. But now you worked at the shop, at the retail store.
Yeah.
But you have people experience like one-on-one talking, sales and stuff like that. So the people will look past your qualifications sometimes, and they will look like, okay, no, you have experience in the field of talking to people. Because you don't need to be qualified for that position to get it. You can, if you're willing to learn.
Yeah, and especially in IT, like I'll tell you this, if you have a diploma, a certificate of some sort, and the job says degree, don't be scared, apply. A lot of these companies will just say, okay, here's the test. Pass this test, you in.
Yeah.
First they test you technically, then they test you your character, your if you're a good culture fit for the team, because the teams are very dynamic. They come from different backgrounds. They have a way of working, their way of talking. If you like very stuck up and stuff, they'll tell you no. You can might have the degree, you can't talk. You're like, oh, yes, okay, yeah. No, I'm done with the work. You're not gonna perform. You'll bring that whole team down just because of your culture or the way that you communicate. So there's people that I worked with at DVT when I started that just finished high school. They didn't study anything.
Okay.
Sure.
They gave the tests to these students and they passed and they started working. There's people that had history masters that I started interning with. He had a master in history, but he liked programming. He was into programming, and he didn't really like his history qualifications and the things he was doing. And his brother, I think, was in IT, so he went for the IT, and we started together. And this guy is like much older than me, very knowledgeable. Didn't study IT, but knew way more than all of us did. And other guys with degrees and stuff were like, tough.
Yo,
So
that's heavy.
That's a big eye opener. Like that for me, I was like, yo. And even though I got in there, in my first few years, or let's say the first year, I was very overwhelmed because maybe we were 10 guys, and I was maybe like, if I had to rate myself against everyone else, I was maybe the 5th best or the 6th best, and I had to work almost maybe twice as hard as that's the best guy, just to keep up with the amount of work that we did and stuff.
So you felt like the press is on me.
Yes.
I must
Yeah.
work to be the best.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys that I started with weren't there a year after that or 2 years after that.
It's almost like they crumbled under
Yeah,
pressure.
they gave up. It was too much. They had excuses. They left. They did something else. So
Yeah. So just to add on, like, there was times like when you used to know when you have an intern, you had to complete like a task or something like that, or
Mhm.
we have a deadline. Jason, like from the stories that we like spoke about, he would like stay like an hour after work, man,
Okay.
just to complete that task or just follow up on things. And I think his manager at the time saw that,
yeah,
Mm.
and if I could just say from that, he actually became a manager of the company.
I was a delivery manager. So it basically means we deliver services to clients.
Okay.
And so you kind of start as an intern and then you go to a scripter, so a guy who programs tests, and then you have a team lead, and then you have a delivery manager.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm saying it is that his work ethic and like it's very good. So sometimes we can be in a work environment,
Mm.
and like you said, he wasn't the best out of the 10 candidates.
Mm.
Yeah.
But his hard work pays off, man.
Yeah.
Paid off. So, and for me, seeing where he came from,
Yeah.
from where he went to, what he achieved in his short lifespan, if I can say that, he accomplished a lot of things. And where he is now today, he worked, man.
Mm.
He worked very hard, and he's also persistent. If you want something, you will get it.
Yeah.
So, I guess there was times when he was a manager. He were clients like across the world and things like that. He would come like he like usually leave like home like early morning hours.
Yeah, I'd get at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'd leave you off past 5.
Then he would arrive at home. There was sometimes past 10.
Mm-hmm. Past 10 in
Pull
the
up.
evening.
You pull up.
I'd open and lock the office like for a week straight. I'm not supposed to do that.
So that is what type of commitment level. And you will notice, like, I always speak about commitment. Like, but his commitment level is like,
I'm similar. If I see, look, I have work on my desk. Now, I'm the type of character, I don't like to leave work on my desk for the next day.
Yeah.
Because I like to come to work and then I'm now
Start
going to chill
fresh.
and I'm going to start fresh. And then there's times I had to sacrifice and then you till 8 o'clock in the office and then boom, you catch in the first train to work in the morning.
yeah.
You're there about 6:30. When others is also there 6:30, but they sitting and waiting or they're on their phones or they taking a nap and you busy working.
Yes.
You don't even take. I don't even take lunch. I cup twice dear just to
Yeah.
get finished because there's so much pressure being put on you.
Yeah.
They want the stuff, and you're like, I only have 2 hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they expect the impossible
Yeah,
from people. really.
definitely. Corporate unfortunately operates with the concern for you and your well-being is kind of
Zero.
low priority.
It's not that. That's
Yes.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
They don't care if you have a family, though.
Yeah.
They just need their work done.
Yeah, especially the company is dealing with production, like deadlines. You have to make a certain amount of, or you have a target to achieve in this period of time. That's very hard.
I can tell you, deadline day is the worst. Like with me, if I work the type of work I do, deadline day is the worst because now people decide there's a due date for their work, then they send their work now after the due date, and then sometimes the due date where you must send the people their stuff
Yeah.
is the next day.
Yes.
Then they send it on the day of the due date, or they send it on the day of the due date. Now you must work extra fast, and then you sit late at night.
Yeah.
And then like, my bro, it's not my fault, man.
Yes.
And now,
But
and
you're
now,
the one that's responsible now because it's
Yeah.
in your hands.
and it's like, okay, no. Then they send you stuff that is duplicates,
Mm,
and now you're working with paper, no?
yeah.
And now you must look for the stuff, and sometimes it's frustrating, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I sit by my desk and I ask this guy, look here, look at this thing quickly, man. And this guy can't find it, no?
Yes.
This guy can't find it. No, I just finished my work. And I tell him, if I find it, I'm gonna trip. Because you put me under pressure.
Yes.
And to find it. And I'm like, then I look for it. And then I find it. I'm like, and then I say, nah, you're just lazy.
Yes.
I can't take that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna help me with something, or you're gonna ask me to help you with something, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability,
Yeah.
or to the way that you do it.
Yeah.
To a standard
Because
that you hold.
if I ask you, I expect the same. Not, I mean, I'm not that type of cat that look here. If you ask me to do something, I'm gonna do it halfway. I'm gonna do it head on. Kijk eens, we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
But now I get this cat that is lazy. That's my clap. Yes.
But listen, guys, off the record, ne? She's still single, guys. Ladies, she's still single.
Come get me.
But yes.
I just want to touch on that conversation about hard work. I mean, I think what society has branded hard work and what the system has branded hard work is you burning yourself out and going over and above. And the trap with that is once you start doing it, that's the expectation. Like you start doing it in a place where people don't do it, and you that shining light, and tomorrow it's expected of you to be that person.
True.
And the other thing I want to say is like, you need to know the cost that you're willing to accept up front.
Sure. Sure.
Like I heard Dave Chappelle told a story about that. His father said you set your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more than that price, you go. And he did the same thing in his career. And I think I got to a point in my career where that price got more expensive than what I was willing to pay. And I'm not talking money. I'm talking your time, your health.
Yeah.
Is this still something that you're passionate about? Do you have other things in your life that's now higher priority, your family, so on? So I think don't twist hard work with being kind of like abused at work. Because that can happen very easily.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
That's a good thing to say, because like you sit at work, you set the bar high.
Yeah.
Like when I work, so like last year I got employee or the manager's award.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I said I'm not doing the work that the other people do. That this company, there's 10 people in this group and 5 people in this group. I don't do their work. I do my own work. But how do you get something, or how hard you must work 10 times harder than them to prove a point at work that look here, you are dedicated. Because I had someone help me. I tell him, look here, you just look at this stuff and then you just put it in like that. You don't mix it. And I tell him you make double show, because I'm busy on another project. And I'm busy. And it comes to the deadline day, the night before. And we stay until about 9-10 o'clock at work. Till 9 o'clock. And we're looking for this stuff, but the stuff shows here, but it's not here.
Yeah.
I'm sitting by my desk. He's sitting. I have 2 PCs, so I'm sitting by one PC. He's sitting by my main PC.
Yeah.
And I tell them, look here, just check here by that one, and then by that one for that one. You might have mixed it up.
Yeah.
And then it was like that, it was mixed up. So if you do like your job, you must know everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
Even if you supervise, like you must know stuff must be there.
Yeah.
Because you get people that do the work, but then they don't know where their stuff is, and that frustrates me.
Yeah.
Put you in jeopardy, put you at risk.
Yes.
And I wanna add on like my coach Brian King.
Shout out to Brian King, Mr. King.
He told me this. He said this power of saying no. And
Very
like that, he
true.
said like sometimes we say yes, we will be there, yes, we will be there, yes, we will be there. They have an expectation of Clayton. Listen, Clayton will do that. But since as time goes on, or you grow, say for instance you have a kid, you have a family, and you maybe don't have that much freedom, and you say no, then that expectation of that people, like, okay, so So what's wrong now?
Not doing your work. You're
Not doing the work.
underperforming.
You get what I'm trying to say.
That's
So-
a good point.
So, and the thing is like, and my coach said this, like, people will take advantage of you of saying or being available all the time because you want to do so much, but have little,
Yeah.
and people have expectation
You
of you,
overextend yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then so
And you do that a lot sometimes. Nah, it's true. Because sometimes you say, nah, you're available. But when the shoe's on the other foot, when you need that next person, is that person going to be available for you?
Yeah.
So I'm always on the, like, know your circle, know the people who's going to be there for you when you're available,
Yeah.
and the people's going to understand when you're not they're going to understand. I got tongue twisted there. They're going to understand when you're not available.
yeah,
Because now, you did already stretch yourself so much out for people,
Yeah.
but they're going to stretch yourself out for you.
yeah, and it's true. Like it was like once, like Jason told me, I think it was 2 weeks back. He's like, "Senior risk, man." Like
I've been telling you, bro. this
Burnout is real.
like they don't sleep.
Burnout is real. Yeah.
yeah,
He's gotta. Well, the thing is, like, the other trap is like when you're very motivated and you're very driven and you're very passionate, you get lost in your work or you get lost in the thing you're passionate about. And sometimes you need someone else to just like scoop you,
yeah.
kick you and say, hey, get out of it now.
It's like Rick Ross said. I think it was on one of the interviews on the Breakfast Club, and he said like he gets 4 to 5 hours of sleep. That's enough for him. How do you function the next day?
but okay, we're going a bit of
I know.
track, yeah. But they have like supplements, like they have like energy boosters or tablets that they take.
Yeah.
So, but they have like a team, and it is another thing. Like sometimes you burn out yourself because you don't know how to manage.
Yes.
So even
And
if,
delegate.
yeah, delegate. So if you have a team, that's like another type of leadership skill. But we're going off
We're
topic.
going way off topic now.
But Jason, just to come back on track. I know we mentioned this, but like, speak about you. Obviously, you mentioned this. Like I said.
You can move past that part, man.
Okay. So what advice would you give youngsters?
Yeah.
Right, regarding the goals, right, and especially IT as a package.
Yeah. That's a good question because I'm trying to figure that out myself. But where I'm at now is through my experience, through coming up and in being in the workplace. And this is also from Coach Brian as well. A lot of these big guys always say this. You have to know your why in life. You have to know your purpose. And a lot of young people don't know that. Even people my age, all your guys' ages, they don't know their purpose. And it's easy to say, go find your why, figure out your why. But like, how do I do that? How do I do that?
I'm asking myself now the same question.
Yes.
How do I find my
Yeah, man.
purpose?
Your gift to make room for you. That is how I found. That is how I found my why.
Yes.
It is that the thing that you're good at. And Coach Brian said the same thing. Know what you're good at, and that will make room for you.
But say if you, for example, multi-skilled, like you're good at a lot of things,
Yeah.
but which one is your?
Yeah. So then my advice for that is like the same. It applies to a lot of things, but you cannot be an expert just like that. You can't be the best podcaster overnight. You can't be the best soccer player overnight. What do all these people do? They practice.
Yeah.
They look for mentors in that field. They look for people who have experience in that field, and that's what we need to do. The young people needs to get exposure to those type of things because they going through a schooling system that focuses on paraphrasing. Read this book, and then in the test, I'm going to ask you exactly what was in that book. Maths is slightly different, but I mean, like most of the stuff that we taught, it's just like copy and paste. Everything you do is copy and paste. And for 12 years, people are telling you how to live your life, and at the end of it, suddenly nobody's telling you anymore. Nobody's telling you that's the teacher you're going to, that's the subjects you're going to do.
Yay.
After 12 years, you out there lost.
Preach it.
Your parents has never lived through the time that you're living in. So your parents will only know this amount about the world that you now are thrown into.
Okay, yeah.
So I understood that when I was in matric, that my father only knew so much about IT. But there is things that you learn from your parents, principles and core stuff that you can learn from your parents. But the young people, they need to focus on looking outside of school and seeing what are the things out there that I'm interested in. What are the things that I didn't know what to understand? And I told her, look, you're always telling me about the record labels in America and the showbiz and this awards and that awards. Why don't you start writing a blog about those things? And it like blew her mind because she's like, I talk to you about this all the time. She'll send me like 200 word messages about an award show that I don't have no business knowing about. But she knows every detail about it. And I was like, that's something that you're interested in. So why don't you pursue that? And if that doesn't work, it's fine. Like I said, people practice, the sports players practice and practice and practice, and maybe they're not good at it. But they keep trying until they find the thing that they're good at. Some players start as defenders and end up as strikers. Right? Think about that. Think about that. So expose yourself to as many things as possible. And I know that a large part of our community don't have the benefit of doing that.
Yeah.
So, like, now that's the question I have for you. Say, for example, you have this passion for something, no? It can, your hustle can turn into your business, but now this is like your hustle is your passion, no? But what if in South Africa you were blocked because the market in South Africa won't allow you to do what you want to do? The best market you have is in America for this, because I know a lot about a certain thing.
Yes.
Like I will read, like I will read it a lot.
Yes.
Like if there's a new drop coming out, I'll read. I'm like, okay. Like Jordan, the Last Dance, I watched that the whole series. So you have a better idea now. I have a better idea of sneakers and why it's named what it's named. So, but now you have a market in South Africa, but it's very little. You can't move that market in Cape Town, really. You must move. Rather, you're gonna move to Joburg,
Yeah.
or you're gonna move. If you're gonna hit the ceiling in Joburg or not even touch the ceiling,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to move to America.
So my advice there now, don't worry about the ceiling. Don't even think about a limitation that you might have. Don't think about, I don't have a market. Just start. Focus on the people that you think will be interested and push. Tomorrow you might make enough money where you can take a trip to America. Tomorrow you might have a YouTube channel that can access the world. Tomorrow you can freelance, where people, like this websites called Fiverr, Freework, Upwork.com, where people are offering services online where they freelance for a certain amount of money. So you can get 2 freelancers who have a shop distribution, who can set up a shop for you in America. You organize whatever sneakers from China. Now that you started your business, you're making some money in South Africa, and now you maybe can get a business loan and start something like that. You get 2 freelancers, you get your shipment from China, you're selling your sneakers in America. You never step foot in America. You know what I mean? So I know I'm oversimplifying it because there's a lot of more stuff that goes into it.
Yes, I understand it.
But like, I watched the video I saw on Gary V. I know Clayton knows Gary V.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
I know,
and
he's crazy, he's mad.
Exactly, and I mean, he does a lot of podcast advice and so on. And the guy was asking him like, I got this guy who's gonna be a guest. I got this guy, but I'm so worried. Our launch is not gonna be what it's.
I think I saw that episode.
Yeah, it was about like starting a podcast.
He started a podcast, yes.
And he just said, forget the ceiling, forget the opening. If it doesn't work, you have unlimited amount of times to retry this thing. You can fail today and try again tomorrow. You can fail tomorrow and try. And he said something about, it might not be the first episode, it might be episode 97 that blows up. But if you stop now, if you tell yourself I can't do it, if you say there's a limit, if you say that there's no market, you're blocking yourself, man.
Yo,
Because you see, sometimes, me in general, I overthink things, man.
Yes.
I think that is like
analytical.
Gemini's. We overthink stuff. We already predict the ending,
Yes.
and we didn't even start yet.
And I want to say something. Jason, I'll quote this. The best time, the best time to plant the tree is 10 years ago. The second best time to plant the tree is today.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yo, come on. That's that. Our friend said this, we want to go in a week, and I'm like, those guys, they have a lot of wisdom. I don't know where you get the wisdom from. I don't know.
I think, you sometimes you speak words, and sometimes it doesn't resonate as much until someone else says it or like reacts to it. So like maybe like for example, you told me this story now and I reacted to it differently than maybe your mother did or your father did or your friends do. And sometimes you need that somebody outside to just look at your problem and like, oh, but I don't see any issues. Why don't you just do it this way? So coming back to young people, they just need to try things, go out there, try things. I was doing research on career guidance for students because it's something that I want to at least pursue in some sense. And a lot of these counselors were speaking about, they said that all these tests that the psychologists do on students, it's fine and all, but at the end of it, they don't come out the other side better for it. They said the students need to go and job shadow, go and work on a holiday, go and expose themselves to different careers, because you're not going to find the career the first time. She had a statistic about business students where after 4 years studying, the first year they work, they go back to college because it's not what they wanted to do.
Sure.
True.
Because they didn't have the career, they didn't know when they started studying, this is what I want to do.
I feel I'm in the same boat because I studied something, no? I didn't finish it. But it's not really the field I want to be in. I just put in the field because of my situation at home. But I didn't need to go in that direction.
Yeah.
There was a other offer that I wanted to do. There was I like sport. I cannot be fat, but I like sport. Like I play rugby, I played cricket, I played soccer, and that is where my heart, at something I have a passion for also is my sport. So I wanted to actually study coaching science because I actually wanted to be a coach.
Yeah.
That was one thing I wanted to do because I can sit on a rugby field, on a soccer field, and I have this vision.
The play, yeah.
I have this play in my head that I know will work, but now I don't have the experience.
Just to add on to what Jason said, like people study for something like a degree and then they go work and find out this sort of them. I can testify to that, and that's the reason why there is benefits and there is throwbacks of my age and what I'm doing now. But I know where I'm going to now. It is what I want to do. At first, I wanted to become an architect. I love drawings. I love detail. So detail, it can be in anything: cars, houses, TVs, a mixer. Detail speaks about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm a very detailed person. And then I went job shadowing that time in high school. And then this guy was sitting in front of the PC since 6 o'clock in the morning. And at 6 o'clock at night he left. And I'm like, I will never be able to do this. And
that's why I got glasses.
Yeah, that is why. That was the other story. And I said, nah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in office all day. I want to be like outside, And
that's
then,
me also. I don't want to sit the whole time in the office. I want to be outside. I can't.
Yeah. So now I went to go work for a company, right? And then I was outside. I was exposed to the outside world. Rain outside, summer outside. You have lunch outside. Okay, there was an office, a side office with whatever. But then I'm like, no man, in summer, my lips is burned.
Kurkdroeg.
And in winter I was like cold.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. It became too much.
Became too much stress. I said no, listen, okay. And then I found this interesting career, which is town planning.
Mm.
So it's the
Best of both.
best of both. You're outside and in office, and you marry the two. You marry the architect and the civil engineering together, and you the pastor. And I said, okay. I have the tender for you and you. Listen, you do that. So yes, yeah.
I would rather be outside, man. General.
Yeah.
Yeah, but take a short break now. Yeah,
All
take a
right.
short break.
Cool.
Close the camera. So yes, Jason. So do you believe in business in this time we live in, right? And if yes, what would you do? If I may ask.
Okay. So I think it's a very open-ended question. So I say that with business, I do believe in business. I think a lot of our people need to have business-minded decisions. I think a lot of our people, they've been so historically disenfranchised that they aspire to only do normal work, teaching, plumbing, carpentry, and always do it for somebody else.
So it's like the known trades.
Yes.
Basically.
They're always aspiring to just get the job and get the paycheck, and then I'm cool. And I think that for me is where I am. I got a nice job. I'm earning now good money. I can
Great
support
money.
myself. I can support myself. But I need to think beyond that. I need to think business minded. I need to think, how can I create something that can incorporate different people with different skills, that can expand beyond my limitations as
Come
a
on
person.
now.
You know what I mean? And it can be applied in very simple terms. A plumber can stop working for someone else and get two young boys who's interested in it and teach them and take them to jobs and eventually train them in a way, and then can start paying them, and then he can do 3 different jobs at the same time because it's him and his 2 boys, and now it's a business. And so I think the business-minded conversations and unfortunately what the other side of the spectrum, the more people who have benefited, the lighter complexion people, their parents and their grandparents and their friends and their families have these kind of conversations all the time. What business are you going to start? I got a friend who went to go buy an apartment, a house. And to you and I, okay, need to save money. We're going to afford a loan and we can go buy a house. His mother was like, no. That's an opportunity for me to invest. So I'll cover 2/3 of the bond. So it doesn't hit you so hard monthly. And when you eventually move out, I take 2/3 of the profit. And that's fine for him because he gets a house. He gets a house, almost debt free. His mother makes money. He will make some money because the property is going to increase in value.
Yeah.
And so he gets a kickstart that a lot of people don't get. And it's not because he's white. It's because his mother had the foresight to think like that. We get colored people and black
Sure.
people who have riches and buy their children fancy cars and take their children to fancy schools, but they don't teach them things that can
Instead of
propel them.
buying, like, look here, I'm going to buy your property that you're going to live in.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Now-
I mean,
now-
That's going to appreciate.
even if it's a small scale, like maybe your daddy makes enough money and he has something extra, and you say, listen daddy, my friend he's growing vegetables in the yard, he's into gardening. Can't daddy help me? And I set up a shop so that I can sell veggies for him. Daddy gives you money to buy to set up a stand, and you help your friend. You say, okay, whatever you make, give it to me on a Friday, we're gonna go sell it here on the corner. There you started a business with almost no money. Your daddy gave you some money to buy the stands and stuff, to hold the stuff. Your friend's already growing stuff in the yard. There you have a business. So it doesn't need to be this $1 million mind thing that people think, oh, I can never be there.
No.
You know what? I'll add on to that because like the multi-millionaire companies that you see or people that you see billionaires, they sort of do one thing first. Sorry. So they sort of one thing first, right? Then they master that company, and then they expand. You know, look at Elon Musk. Right, just started with PayPal, no?
Yeah, he actually started with the other company called, I think, XM.
Yes.
And they were competitors with another company. I forgot the company's name. And that company had a product called PayPal. And through their competition, they were competing on eBay to get the most people to use their platform because they were both payment providers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were competing, and then eBay said, okay, you guys are making money. We're gonna start our own payment platform. So there was a 3-horse race. And then Elon Musk and the other company, I forgot the people, they came together and said, okay, we're gonna partner. Because now 2 is better
than 1.
Then 3 people competing, we come together, we can obviously now outperform eBay, because eBay controls the platform. eBay says, okay, since you are my competitor, I'm gonna make your payment provider icon small and mine big, so the customers will always click on mine instead of yours. And so they came together, created PayPal. There's a long story, but I'm going to summarize it. They made a product that outperformed the competition.
Yeah.
And from there, they kind of they sold the company off, and all of those people went on to be millionaires. They call it the PayPal Mafia, if you ever want to research it. They have their own products, and they invest in each other's companies. So that ties again into the other thing that Coach Brian teaches us is about group economics.
Yeah.
So you support your local business, you support your friend, and you guys can prosper. And that's basically what Elon Musk did.
That what you said now, no? It's like it's the same for the company I worked for, Merge. Everyone is doing the same thing, but everyone is good at a certain point. They have their strengths. So why don't we all go as one company? Everyone make money.
Yeah.
You specialize this, you specialize that, you specialize that. I give you the best product.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
And
I give you the best information back.
And that's the thing, so with this, Jason, if I can ask, like, do you think it's to support local is good, and is local? Do they have the right knowledge to go forward in terms of their business?
So I think the problem with a lot of our people is South Africans in general have been burnt by local products. I think in the past the quality wasn't the same as the American equivalent, as cheaply made, because in order to support local, we need to think these people are competing against big businesses who have bigger budgets, who have research teams and all those things. So we can't expect our local product to be on the same level, right?
Yeah.
Maybe now, because our society is catching up quite fast to the equivalents. We've got brands and stuff that's really doing well in our country. But I think just the principle of supporting local, I think, needs to be exercised. And I think a lot of people are doing it now, especially in COVID. People are now following that. It's been a thing that's trending now, is support local, because they don't have a choice. A lot of the tourism industry are coming like support local, because people can't come outside of the country. So now you suddenly see, there's all these beautiful places that you as a South African go to that you didn't even know about. Beautiful places that doesn't cost the arm and a leg, because you wanted to go to Italy for the end of the year that costed 20,000 and you have to save for 10 years just to get that money. Where you could go for 2,000 to Beaufort West in a Airbnb and be on a farm and vineyards and what, and have a nice experience, and you support local. So the principle, I think, is just, okay, that's something I like doing. I'm going to support that people. And what you're doing is you empowering them to make their product or service better because now they get support. And so I think that is something that we need to practice, and it's difficult because to unlearn something is harder than to learn it from the start. So you have to unlearn to always buy that American branded coffee that you like so much and go with the South African brewed one.
I'd rather drink a real coffee. Yeah.
But now,
sorry to break your word now before you go on. That's why I say, us as South Africans should explore more of our own country or witness more things of our own country before we go overseas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we see this like that website Lekker Slaap. Like you see all these nice places. You never knew that Cape Town or outside of Cape Town had all these nice places.
Yeah.
We don't know that because we always toegekap met the stuff of overseas.
And that's the media does that to us. Unfortunately, the media, everything is like American centric. Everywhere around the world is the same problem.
But the reason why is that is because the dollar is central. Everything revolves around the dollar.
Yeah.
But before we go there, and before I go to ask you a question, like what business will you open? No? Do you think we're talking about local, right? So now obviously there was an articles that came out that Starbucks would now open.
In South Africa.
Yeah, in South Africa, Cape Town can now walk. Do you think? Do you think would support local coffee shops, or would you support Starbucks? And would Starbucks survive? And that's a big question because Starbucks didn't survive in Johannesburg, so they're moving out to Cape Town. But what's your take upon that?
I think there's gonna be a surge in the interest of Starbucks. How and will they survive? I think it depends on the affordability of their coffee, because their coffee in Joburg was very expensive when I went there just one time in my life. Very nice experience.
So you tasted Starbucks?
Yeah, I tasted
So
Starbucks.
Why didn't you tell? What's the first one hearing this?
Remember I went to Joburg.
I know I went to Joburg.
So that's the time.
But you didn't tell me you went to Starbucks.
Yeah.
So what was
why
the
didn't you bring a
average
sleeve?
price of a cup?
I think it was
coffee?
similar to Vida, slightly above Vida. So you'd pay like 35 Rand, 40 Rand a coffee. And our people are not going to pay that money for the coffee.
True.
So I think it will appeal to the upper class. Whether they get the support, enough support to sustain their business is the other question. Maybe one shop, maybe two shops, who knows. On the question about will support local or buy there, I think generally everyone's going to want to taste it. It's a world sensation. It's a world branded product. But that's the thing. As a principle, we need to stop that mentality. So I think in the beginning they'll have momentum, but I think it will die down because of the price and affordability, especially now after COVID. People are not going to be eager to spend that much money when they lost their jobs and their pay is cutting off and all those things. So, yeah.
It's rather like gonna come with a product, the same product. They're not gonna lower the quality.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But are they? If they lower their price, I think there will be room for more profit.
Yeah. Because there are the top 4 coffee. I'm gonna say coffee shops. Coffee business.
Because for me, if a coffee is that expensive, I gaan net 2 keer uit die man net.
Once you've tasted it, you move on. The thing about Starbucks.
It's the same. It was the same with Dunkin' Donuts. I had it like once or twice. I was like, "You're not gonna go buy donuts. You have a pick and pay, man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
The thing that they have, I think, is like you come into that shop and it's like the lighting is different, the music is playing, the baristas is like happy-go-lucky. There's Wi-Fi, people are sitting and working. So it's an experience that you have, and I think our businesses don't do those things.
Yes. Okay. Now touching on atmosphere.
Yes.
And that is what I always say. Whenever enter a shop or whatever, the atmosphere must speak for itself.
yes, it's so
Because sometimes the atmosphere sell the product.
Yes.
The product don't need to sell itself.
Exactly.
Because people go to.
You go there for the vibe.
You go there for the vibe, yeah. You go there for the for the excellence and the things like that. Coming down to Vida Cafe, like I will pay like also like 40 rand, 35 rand, 37 rand, 40 rand for like a milkshake or
Yeah.
But it's a good quality.
Yeah.
You,
You see-
you can't shake the quality. Like Vida Cafe is one of the best.
Exactly. So Vida Cafe is also up there, but their culture comes from Italian,
Yes.
Italy. Because they even the chemises and things like
Yeah,
that.
it's all-
There's a history behind it.
Mm.
So yeah, so
Everything has a history behind it, man. Or, for example, if I'm gonna open up a restaurant, I'm not gonna sell food, or I'm not gonna sell the food like, for example, KFC salad. I'm gonna give you what I would want to eat.
yes,
Like that's a plate of food I want to eat.
yeah,
I will give you so amount of chips because I would want that amount of chips. You know what I mean? So that is where people will too. And now, and like for example, if colored, like if you have fundraisers, no, and then, Shana, don't get me wrong. I'm not thinking about. It's all you always get that people that is complaining.
is my con.
Yes, bro, my mic's on.
chicken, chicken.
You always get this problem that they complain about the portion size they get. But you get the same portion size at KFC, but you don't complain.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Is it-
Expectations.
expectations is put high, and I feel also that is where we fall short. Also, is our advertising, because you're advertising this picture that you photoshopped or you
Yeah.
took from the internet and you said this is your product.
False expectations.
False expectation, and the people is expecting that.
But it always comes down to people will pay for what they want at the end of the day.
True.
If a car is so much money and that car is so much money, but I want that, I will go for that because I know what I'm getting. And yeah, so I don't want to drag out that conversation.
No, that causes a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
It's a topic on its own.
Definitely.
But if you must sort of open up a business, like what would you do?
Alright.
It's a very interesting.
Yes.
I also want to hear this.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, but just for the broader audience, I've co-founded a company, Success in Color. I won't dive into it too much because hopefully we can get the whole team here.
No,
Yes.
most definitely.
But basically, it helps students migrate from schooling to work. That's our aim. That's our objective, is getting you from the high school environment to the work environment. And we currently just do applications to universities and colleges and help you with funding. Not giving you funding, but apply for funding. So in a nutshell, that is one of the things that I wanted to do, was create a business that could offer something like that to a community. Very early stages, and yeah, we'll go down that rabbit hole when we get there.
Yeah.
With business, I have a few ideas that I would like to start.
You don't have to say no.
Don't have to say
You
that.
don't have to say that.
But yeah, I'll dive into. I'll just go eye level. I won't deep dive into anything specific.
Yeah.
So, myself and Clayton have been doing forex lately, and Mr. Coach
Yes.
Smiles over here. He's like a certified coach. So he's teaching people how to do forex. He's migrated from a student to a teacher, and I think that's great. But forex is something that I really like I really enjoy doing. So one of the ideas is hopefully that I can trade professionally. I can trade for investment, so people can come to me and they'll pay me a certain amount and I will trade on their behalf.
Okay. So you'll be the broker, basically.
Yeah, basically, in the sense that you give me money as an investment. So it's almost like they're paying in a retirement annuity, or they'll do like a unit trust type of engagement.
Okay.
You give me money and I'll give you your profits.
Yeah.
And then everything I want to tie back into the community aspect. So all
Yes.
the projects I have, there's some element that goes back to the community. So there's an idea for bringing local businesses together and using their investments. So businesses will come to me, not just people, but businesses might come to me and say, listen, I made this amount of profit, I would like to invest this money into your business. And then my agreement with them is, we'll make you this amount of profit, or this is the risk you're taking, this is the amount of money we plan to make, and this percentage has to go back to the community. You don't have a choice. If you want to do business with me, that has to happen. So it has to go to a charity, it has to go to funding students. Some portion of that money must go back into the community. And in that way we can uplift small businesses in our area.
Yes.
We can uplift the people who are struggling, and we can all make money at the same time. You know what I mean?
That is one of the smartest business ideas.
So I think iGlobal FX, shout out to the team. I think they're going in that direction. I think they're definitely going, and if I can be a part of that and influence that in some shape or way, or do my own thing, either way, that's something that I want to pursue. And then there's other things that's entailed to like sustainable living of the land. This is like personal passion projects that I have that I've talked to Clayton about. And
I will join him. I will join.
And using those things to help not only people around, we create a community that actually cares about the environment and lives sustainably, because the way we're living as a community, as people in general, is not sustainable.
Sure.
So that's like long term. It's like a 10-year type of thing that I want to go for.
I also always like that. Like, look here. Like when I was sitting into one of the introduction videos of the iGlobal FX.
Yes.
And I sat there and I listened to Coach Brian, and you see a vision.
Yes.
How to help people.
Yeah.
And my time will come where I put my foot in the door and like, look here. Here's my money for classes. I'm taking it head on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Best
but I'm not
decision.
gonna be selfish for me.
Yeah.
Because my heart is also out in the community.
Yeah.
I would like to, like, every community must have a voice. There must be that one person in your community that is helping uplift them. Because like it's a sad reality that you work. I work from home. Tea time, I'll go stand outside and I look over the vibe, and you see the kids running the road. You see some of them don't have food and things like that. They get excited when this one guy pulls up in the road or he brings soup, and they're like, there's something to eat.
Yeah.
They get excited, and then that's something I would like to change. I have a plan that in probably 5-10 years is where you open a house just feeding people that don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't go sleep on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
But that those are deep conversations. Yes, is that you can. With that conversation, you can run far with that idea.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't want to go like deep because I can also do a business like
all day, every day.
But just a small question. What business do you think? What business do you think will be relevant right now in COVID-19 to open? Or what business you know that will boom during COVID-19 now?
I think the thing is, for me, like trading has changed my whole perception of what works and what doesn't work. I promised myself I'll never go study again for a reason, that education can only take you so far. And it's not saying that education is bad, but I think education needs to go hand in hand with work experience and exposure to different things. So for me, the business I think that will make most sense is skills development, basic skills development, basic things that can help people get entry-level jobs. So even the carpentry, the plumbing, the welding, those type of things, it can apply to a lot of different fields, and it's very basic skills, and a lot of people in our community actually have those skills. So I don't have a specific business, but skills development, I would say, is key.
Okay. Nice.
Chris, how much time we have left?
Okay.
Time.
The last question that I have for my friend session here. What would you do differently if you had to go back in time? Like what things like would you?
Yeah. That's a very good question. So for me, I think just from high school, I wouldn't change. I think high school was amazing.
Most definitely. Hashtag. Most definitely.
High school was a lot of people like, yo, I hated high school when I work. I'm like, what?
Who hates high school?
Yeah, like people I worked with, okay, but they had different experiences. Like they were bullied, or they were victimized, or they had friends, and then the friends left them, and then they were alone, and all this type of things. So unfortunately, not everybody has a great experience. High school was great. I think from high school onwards, I would have applied to a lot more universities, definitely, and not just UCT and then be disappointed. I don't think I'd work differently in high school, so I won't say that my marks would have been different. I'd be lying to myself. But I would have applied to like CPUT, UCT, Stellenbosch, everywhere I could. I would have applied for funding. And I would, instead of going to work at Total Sports, I would have made a bigger effort to go work in fields that I have interest in.
Okay.
People interest that I had. So I like cars. I would have maybe go work with a mechanic and see if that's for me. Which probably wasn't. I would have gone into different types of IT because I do testing, but there's development, there's web design, there's graphic design, there's all these type of things.
IT is like a very big
Exactly.
picture. Like it's not just you sitting on the computer, connecting computer or fixing something. It's much more than that.
But I hate coding. Sorry. I went for a course, like I think it was for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I just did like the basic, I was at UWC. I did it and I'm like, there is money in this thing, but coding is not for me.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And you must know what you're doing with coding, because I mean, if you run the test, right, Jason? You run the test and just one error or one fault, then you must check what is it. It can be a bracket or it can be whatever. It must change, and that for me. So it can be a coding in a coding. So you have a code, and then in that code is. This is laughing because you know what he's talking about. There will be like a bracket inside that, so you have a word, and then like with every app you have, you will like say, okay, get started. You click that. If you click that, there's a code behind it to reveal to go to another page. But that page must have a layout also. Yeah. And they have that, and they have that, and they have that. And I'm like, nah. That's
very complicated.
That's just too much.
If I must sit to that and look at it, I'm like, okay. Then you know what I do? I work out the math sum in my head again. Like, look here. Okay, that's gonna do this. That's gonna do that. That's gonna bring me here. So.
But you know how things it is. I take the guy. I take the people who work on GPS. Right. GPS works with coding. So if you get in a car and say, listen, I want to go to Promenade or Canal Walk, that thing takes you there, right? But you have coordinates and everything that goes with that.
It's very complicated.
And it will tell you exactly the time.
Yeah.
Then you can tell us if it's traffic in the morning, it will take you so much plus, and it will exactly tell you. That for me it is so crazy because you can go anywhere around the world, and coding is so broad, or IT is so broad, that I don't even touch on the first industrial revolution that's going to take place, or is busy taking place now at the moment. We're talking about 5G. What? Come on, speak to me, Jason. You have 5G. You have blockchain technology,
crypto, and all that.
Crypto, money will become digital. AI.
Machine learning.
So it's very big.
It's very
Massive.
broad.
So
and
the shift, if you look at it now, the shift will happen sooner than what we think or what we predict.
Yeah,
it's moving.
It's basically already happened.
Even Icon is saying like,
yeah,
crypto is
Akon is mad. Like Akon is massive. People underplay Akon so badly. Like,
he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he got money. Like, you think Lady Gaga? You know Lady Gaga?
Yes.
He signed Lady Gaga. He could have signed Drake. Drake came to him and asked him for. He's like that's one of his regrets. But he could have signed Drake. He's building his own city in Senegal.
Yes.
I know
His
that.
own city, he's giving solar to I don't know how many countries.
Yes.
That guy is on a whole other level.
He's like the supplier basically.
Yeah, he created his own cryptocurrency, and that's gonna be the currency used in that city. So, yeah, that guy's a whole. This industrial revolution, I think people need to be woke. They need to adapt and overcome because you are not safe in your job that you think only you can do.
That's true. Everything is going to shift computer-wise.
Yeah,
Like, or you already said that in the line fiber lines down now.
yeah.
No, we were first just Wi-Fi, connect to towers, but now we're cabling.
And they're doing 5G towers. They're trying to get permits for 5G towers. It's being discussed with government also. People have this big fear that 5G is dangerous and it's gonna hurt you, and it's all scam. Like the 5G radiation isn't even close to dangerous levels. Like, but that's something that's happening also. Like, so things are moving so fast. Elon Musk had a presentation last night on Neuralink. Oh my word! It's about like putting stuff into your
And then they would do movements on behalf of you. No, is that right?
yeah.
And they said that thing that goes into your brain is thinner than your hair.
Yes.
And you really can't see it. You must see it with the microscope.
Microscope, yeah.
And that's for me so crazy. Elon Musk is the other guy. Shout out, he come from South Africa, so.
Yeah. He needs to come back. He needs to come
How much time we have, Chris? Yeah. It's like,
but just to end off, if there is anything else that you wanna add on to the question that if we were to do differently.
Yeah. I think I'd spend a lot more time learning from people that's made it, learning from people that's experts in their fields, because I think us as youth, we think we can conquer the world and we're not willing to learn from those who come before us.
Okay.
So I think that is the leaving statement. Make sure you can find someone who's doing something. It doesn't have to be amazing. He can start his own business. He owns 2 Uber cars. How did he do it, bro? Can I come sit with you? Can I have a conversation? And Clayton is somebody who's a big advocate for that. You know what I mean? So learn from those who's come in front of you and apply the knowledge.
Yeah,
That's what I got from him. He's like, get into the room of the people that is there, or involve yourself with the people that is heading into that.
And some people are so scared to do that. They want to become so great, but they don't want to sacrifice a 2 year. They want to open up a business, they want to do everything. But I just ask them, what you doing?
Chris, you know, just shortly, you know that guy that I told you about that I showed you on YouTube, his supercar collection, TJ the Millennium Mentor. So this guy, tall guy, car reviews, he involves himself with the Millennium Mentor because he said he's hanging with people now that is in that position because he wants to get there.
Yeah, that's vital.
But so,
Yeah.
is that the wrap for the questions, Clayton?
Yeah, like I was just one example, like Swaggy, he's a forex trader and he's under Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even Swaggy is like, it's like his nickname. He even said like Eric E.T. He's showing, okay, listen, you go there, you don't go here. Look out for that, you know. So, with that,
I mean, he's 25, no? And he's a millionaire.
He's a millionaire. So with that, I want to wrap up this conversation. It was absolutely a great pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for spotting all that knowledge, man, Jason. I appreciate it. Thank you for all that knowledge.
Yeah.
And I hope the audience out there that's going to watch this, take note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take note.
Young Lions.
Like, it's time to eat.
It's time to eat, time to grind.
Peace mode.
It's time to eat.
So yes, once again, thank you, Jason, for your time and effort.
Yes.
I know God will, stretch you where you need to be stretched and place you where you need to be placed.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks once again, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
See you
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.